Hello and welcome back to USA Close-Up. Tensions in the Taiwan Strait are once again reaching a boiling point. China has launched large-scale military drills surrounding Taiwan, deploying warships, fighter jets, bombers, missiles, and drones in what Beijing calls a stern warning to separatist forces and foreign interference. The exercises come amid rising friction with the United States and Japan following reports of a massive U.S. arms package for Taiwan and comments from Japan's Prime Minister suggesting possible military involvement if China takes action. Taiwan, meanwhile, has placed its forces on high alert and accused Beijing of being the biggest threat to peace in the region, as global airlines, travelers, and neighboring countries feel the impact. So what exactly is happening around Taiwan right now? Why is China escalating its military pressure? And how close is this situation to becoming an international crisis? Let's break it down. But first, subscribe USA Close-Up, turn on notification bell icon to stay connected with us. On Monday, China's People's Liberation Army launched joint military drills around Taiwan, involving air, naval, and missile units in a coordinated show of force. According to China's Eastern Theater Command, the exercises are taking place in multiple strategic zones, including the Taiwan Strait itself and areas to the north, southwest, southeast, and east of the island. The drills include live-fire exercises, air-sea combat patrols, simulated blockades of key ports, and operations designed to seize comprehensive superiority in the region. Chinese military spokesperson, Senior Colonel Shi Yi, described the exercises as a stern warning against Taiwan independence separatist forces and external interference forces. He said the drills are a legitimate and necessary action to safeguard China's sovereignty and national unity. Notably, this marks one of the first times the Eastern Theater Command has publicly stated that the drills aim for all-dimensional deterrence outside the island chain, signaling China's intent to project power beyond Taiwan itself. Taiwan's response was swift. The island's defense ministry announced that rapid response exercises were underway and that all forces had been placed on high alert. Officials strongly condemned China's actions, accusing Beijing of escalating tensions and destabilizing the region. In a statement, Taiwanese Defense Ministry said that the Chinese Communist Party's targeted military drills further confirm its nature as an aggressor and the biggest destroyer of peace. Taiwanese military officials provided detailed updates on Chinese activity. As of Monday afternoon, Taiwan detected 89 Chinese aircraft and drones operating around the Taiwan Strait. Of those, 67 entered Taiwan's response zone, an area monitored closely by Taiwanese forces. At sea, Taiwan tracked 14 Chinese Navy ships, 4 additional warships in the Western Pacific, and 14 Coast Guard vessels operating near the island. Taiwanese officials warned that live fire drills around the strait don't just threaten Taiwan, but also pose risks to regional stability and international security. The military escalation has already had serious consequences for civilian travel. Taiwan's Civil Aviation Administration announced that more than 100,000 international travelers could be affected by flight cancellations or diversions. Chinese authorities issued notices establishing 7 temporary danger zones around the Taiwan Strait for rocket firing exercises, set to run from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Tuesday. Aircraft were barred from entering these zones. As a result, over 850 international flights were initially scheduled during the affected period, with many forced to reroute or cancel. More than 80 domestic flights involving roughly 6,000 passengers were also canceled. The disruptions highlight how quickly military actions in the Taiwan Strait can ripple through global transportation networks. While China's military statement did not directly name the United States or Japan, the timing of the drills is significant. Beijing has expressed strong anger over reports of what could become the largest ever U.S. arms sale to Taiwan, valued at more than $10 billion. Just last week, China imposed sanctions on 20 U.S. defense-related companies and 10 executives following Washington's announcement of major arms sales to Taipei. These sales still require approval from the U.S. Congress, but they reflect Washington's long-standing commitment to helping Taiwan defend itself. Tensions also intensified after comments by Japan's Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi, who suggested that Japan's military could become involved if China were to take action against Taiwan. Beijing views such statements as a dangerous escalation and interference in what it considers a purely internal matter. China's foreign ministry reinforced the military's warning with strong rhetoric. Spokesperson Lin Jian accused Taiwan's ruling Democratic Progressive Party of trying to seek independence by soliciting U.S. support, and warned that this strategy risks turning Taiwan into a powder keg and ammunition depot. He said attempts by external forces to use Taiwan to contain China and to arm the island would only embolden independence movements and push the region closer to military confrontation or even war. China insists that Taiwan must eventually come under its rule, a position it has maintained for decades. China and Taiwan have been governed separately since 1949, when a civil war brought the Communist Party to power in Beijing. The defeated nationalist government fled to Taiwan, where it established its own administration. Since then, Taiwan has operated as a self-governed democracy with its own military, economy, and political system, even though Beijing claims the island as sovereign Chinese territory. The United States recognized Taiwan as the legitimate government of China until 1979, when it switched diplomatic recognition to Beijing under President Jimmy Carter. However, under U.S. law, Washington remains obligated to assist Taiwan with defensive capabilities, a commitment that continues to anger China. As the drills continued, China's Eastern Theater Command released a series of themed posters online. One poster showed two shields resembling the Great Wall alongside military aircraft and warships. The accompanying message read, "Shield of Justice, Smashing Illusion," warning that any foreign interlopers or separatists who challenge China's defenses would be eliminated. Analysts say such messaging is designed not only for Taiwan, but also for domestic audiences and foreign governments, signaling resolve, deterrence, and military readiness. The drills are expected to continue into Tuesday, with further live fire exercises planned. There has been no immediate official response from the United States, though Washington is closely monitoring the situation. Regional allies, global airlines, and international markets are also watching carefully, aware that any miscalculation in the Taiwan Strait could have global consequences. For now, Taiwan remains on high alert, China continues its military maneuvers, and the world waits to see whether tensions cool or escalate further. The Taiwan Strait has once again become a flashpoint in the growing rivalry between China and the West. As military drills intensify, diplomatic rhetoric hardens, and civilian disruptions mount, one thing is clear: the balance of power in East Asia remains fragile. We'll continue to follow this developing story closely. If you found this breakdown helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more in-depth coverage of global geopolitics. Thanks for watching, and do subscribe USA Close-Up for latest news and updates.